Before kingdoms rose, before men called themselves kings, there was a covenant, not written in stone, but carried in the breath of the chosen, a sacred bond between heaven and the earth below. In an age of harmony, where light flowed through all things, one man was set apart, not the strongest, not the fiercest, but the one who would listen. He was given dominion, not as a right, but as a trust. A kingdom was placed in his hands, a people, a future, a divine purpose. And at the center of it all, a flame, not of destruction, but of presence, living, watching, eternal. One command was given, simple yet absolute. Do not touch what is not yours to hold. For power was never the gift, obedience was. But even in a world without chaos, a whisper can still be heard. Silence carries weight, especially in the hearts of kings. For the chosen are not tested in weakness, but in power. The voice that guides does not force. It waits. It watches. It trusts. But another voice speaks differently, not with command, but with suggestion, not with truth, but with possibility. What if you were meant for more? And so the question is planted, not in the world, but in the mind. The flame remains unchanged, pure, untouched, but the man who stands before it is no longer the same. And in the quiet moment between thought and action, destiny begins to shift, not with war, not with thunder, but with a single choice. And heaven is watching.
Not all change arrives with noise. Some begin in silence. The kingdom still stands, the light still flows, but something unseen has shifted.
You feel it, don't you?
Power does not corrupt in an instant. It begins as a thought.
This power was never meant to be watched.
The king still walks in authority, but his mind no longer rests, and beside him, a voice remains, not forcing, not commanding, only waiting to be heard.
You are drifting from what chose you.
There is a moment before every fall where nothing appears broken. The flame still burns, pure, untouched. But the man who returns to it is no longer the same. Curiosity becomes desire, and desire begins to move.
You are ready.
The voice has done its work, not by force, but by agreement. And once a man believes he is ready, he no longer waits. He prepares to take.
Why does it feel different now?
Every boundary is tested. Not when a man is weak.
Because you are.
I was told to guard it.
And you have. But are you only a guardian?
But when he believes, he understands.
The line is weakening.
The flame has not changed. It does not call. It does not tempt. It simply remains.
You've returned to it again.
I need to understand it.
You were not asked to understand. You were asked to obey.
But the mind, once opened, does not easily close. What was once sacred begins to feel distant.
My king, the people feel it.
There is nothing to fear.
Yes, my king.
And what was forbidden begins to feel within reach. The question is no longer if, but why not?
They follow you without question.
Because I lead them well.
Then why do you still stand beneath something greater?
There is a moment where choice becomes action. Not loud, not violent, but final.
If I take it, what changes?
Nothing that was not already yours.
The hand moves, the boundary breaks, and in that instant, what was given is taken. The world does not end, the sky does not fall.
I can feel it.
But something deeper is lost.
Of course you can.
For the first time, the king no longer stands under authority.
It was always mine to hold.
He stands in his own.
Power does not announce its cost. It reveals it. The moment has passed, the choice is made, and yet the world still stands.
He no longer walks among us. Then I will go to him.
The kingdom breathes, the people move. But something deeper has shifted.
My king, something is changing.
Everything is changing.
The people feel it.
They will understand.
What once flowed now resists. What once aligned now strains.
They fear what they cannot reach.
They do not understand it.
They were never meant to.
This is not power. This is distance.
I see further now.
No, you've stepped away. From us. And from what chose you.
Not in chaos, but in silence. For when order is broken at the center, everything else begins to follow.
You have taken what was not yours.
I have become what I was meant to be.
Authority was never meant to be taken, only carried.
No, you have stepped beyond your place. Then perhaps my place was never beneath it.
But now, it has changed hands.
Return while you still can. I will not return.
Then we have already lost you.
You see now, there is no going back.
There never was.
The king still rules, but no longer under heaven. He stands above it. And those who see clearly can no longer remain silent. For truth, when ignored, does not disappear. It confronts, and when it does, only one thing remains: to return or to fall completely.
Not every fall is seen. Some are felt. The throne still stands. The crown still rests.
Why does it feel less?
But what gave them meaning is no longer there.
Because it was never yours to keep.
The presence has withdrawn, not in anger, but in truth.
You still have a choice.
No, that moment has passed.
Then this is not a kingdom anymore.
For what was taken was never meant to be held. And now, what remains is power without purpose.
I cannot follow where this leads.
Then you were never meant to.
A kingdom without alignment, a ruler without covering. The end does not arrive in noise. It settles in silence.
This power, it fades.
Of course it does.
You said it was mine.
No, I said you could take it.
What once flourished fades. What once connected separates. And the man who reached beyond his place now stands alone within it. For authority taken cannot sustain, and power without obedience cannot last.
It was never power. It was obedience.
This was never about the flame. It was about the choice, and every choice carries its end.